Hi, let's just get this presentation up so you all can see. Share my screen here. All right. Okay, I think we should be good. So today I would just like to talk to you all about supporting learning objectives with technology. Something very simple and something very basic that we learned through this technology class with Maranatha. And in this day and age, so many teachers are using technology in their classroom, and I think that they should be. It's something that God has allowed us to have, and I think using it in our classrooms can help our students, it can help us teach maybe more effectively, and it can help the students even learn more effectively. So it's important to use it wisely, however. It's our job as Christian teachers to make sure that we are using the right kind of technology that glorifies God and points students to Him. It's not meant to distract or to take away from the teaching or take away from what God has for them. God says in Matthew 5:16, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." So we're going to begin with this presentation with how to support technology with our learning objectives. So first we have to talk about what are learning objectives, okay? So what is a learning objective? According to the book Classroom Instruction That Works, a learning objective is the process of establishing a direction to guide learning. According to Kolb's book, learning objective is what the teacher wants the students to know after the end of the lesson, assignment, or learning activity. And most of you already know this, so this is just a review. But the learning objective should focus on what the goal is for the class, what the goal is for that lesson, what the goal is for the year, what the goal is for that unit, whatever it is. Okay. So there are 4 recommendations for setting learning objectives in the classroom from the book Classroom Instruction That Works. So first, set learning objectives that are specific but not restrictive. So we need to be specific when we're setting these learning objectives, but it shouldn't be restrictive. Next, we should communicate the learning objectives to the students and the parents. Oftentimes this can be done during the open house or the first time the parents meet you. It can be handed out in a folder in paper form. And it's important to go over these with your students at the beginning of the year in each class, especially for older students in the syllabus. And third, connect the learning objectives to previous and future learning. So it's always good to base what you are going to do on what students already know, what they're interested in, and their previous knowledge. So connect it to that. Help them to be able to understand what those learning objectives are and where they will be once they accomplish those. And then it would be good to engage students in setting personal learning objectives. So not only should you have objectives that would be for your class, encourage them and help your students to set personal ones as well. Each of your students are going to be on different levels. So it's important to help them attain their own goals and their own learning objectives. Next, Kolb discusses in his book a triple E framework for technology. And these triple E's are engagement, enhancement, and extension. So we're going to talk about each of these and how they can help us choose technology in our classroom. So first, we're going to talk about engagement. So engagement is the idea that using technology should focus on the learning goals and tasks. And that's exactly what we've been talking about. And Kolb gives 3 questions on how we can help make sure and how to test our technology to make sure it will engage our students. So the first question is, does the technology allow students to focus on the assignment or activity with less distraction? We already know that there's so many distractions in our classrooms. There could be someone walking down the hall. There could be some student clicking their pen. There could be a thunderstorm outside. Anything could cause a distraction. So the last thing that we want to do is cause another distraction with technology for our students. Next question, does the technology motivate students to start the learning process of knowledge gathering? We want the technology that we use in our classrooms to promote students to want to go learn even more and start that learning process. The last question, does the technology cause a shift in the behavior of the students where they go from being passive to active social learners? So that's what I'm saying. I was saying before, that we don't want learning to end in the classroom. We want it to keep going. Okay, the next thing after engagement is enhancement. An enhancement refers to using technology to help students develop active learning, higher order thinking skills, and make real world connections through learning goals established prior to using technology. So these learning goals shouldn't just be accomplished because of the technology that we're using. They should be accomplished through other things that we're doing in the classroom as well. Technology should enhance our teaching, not take the place of it. Again, there are 3 questions to help us determine if technology is enhancing our teaching. First, does the technology tool aid students in developing a more sophisticated understanding of the content, higher order thinking skills? Does this technology provide for them something they can use to take this to the next level, take what you're teaching to the next level? Does the technology create scaffolds to make it easier to understand concepts, to gather information, or generate ideas? And we're going to talk about a type of technology that can do that at the end. And lastly, does technology create paths for students to comprehend or demonstrate their understanding of the learning goals in a way that they could not do with traditional tools? So, the whole idea of enhancement is for it to enhance our teaching and for it to take students' learning to the next level. Not just getting the facts and the information, but being able to use those facts and information in real world connections and higher order thinking skills. Okay, next, extension. Extension is the idea that using technology will help the students make connections to the real world with what they are learning in the classroom. Okay, in their everyday lives, it's important that they're able to use this technology or maybe even apply it in a different way than what they're teaching, but it's important that it can extend into their everyday lives. So there's some questions to help us analyze the technology that we're using. First, does the technology create opportunities for students to learn outside their typical school day? Does the technology create a bridge between school learning and everyday life experiences? And does the technology allow students to build skills that they can use in their everyday lives? School and getting their education is a small part of our students' lives. They need to be able to take what they've learned and be able to apply it later on in their life. Jack Turner states, technology affects almost every aspect of life in 2023, from transport efficiency and safety to access food, healthcare, and socialization and productivity. It's made learning more convenient and information easier to access and has enabled global communities to form organically on the internet. So as a result of this, teachers must help their students extend their learning into their everyday lives so they can navigate their lives better. Technology is going to be a part of their lives, and as teachers, it is part of our responsibility to help them understand how to use technology better. Now, I have some different technology tools that I enjoyed experiencing through this class that I wanted to share with you. And hopefully maybe you can use some of these tools in your classroom as well. So the first one is Poplet. So you can use this on the web or you can download this one as an app, but it promotes brainstorming and collaboration. So I just did an example here with a mammal project that I'm going to have my students do this year. So I broke it down into different parts, what they would have to write about, but you could do this for even a book report. You could do this in a history. You could use it for a timeline. so many different things that you could do with this. You could divide your students into groups and they would each have to make their own web is what it's called. So many different things you could do with this. Just helps them to be able to brainstorm on their own in groups. And you can even give an example of how to do it in your teaching. So this is very helpful. It might be a little bit difficult for younger students to pick up at first, but I think they would catch on very quickly to it. It's a great tool and it is free. Next, I have formative. Okay, so formative, you can help students study and participate in learning activities. I think I'm very excited to use this for helping my students study. I was able to put in a study guide that I had made for my students last year when I was teaching grade 5 for chapter 3 about plants. And I was able to just put that in formative, and it created a quiz for me. It created different kinds of questions, multiple choice, short answer, whatever you want. You can customize it to what you want it to be, and it can create it perfectly for you. This would be good if you had a substitute teacher someday and you wanted to provide something for them, or if a different way to assess them, or just another way to help them study. The third tool is very fun, and I hope to use this maybe at a Christmas time or at the end of the year for maybe a party, but you can also use this in class. I think it's more fun. Definitely the kids would enjoy it. It's called Goose Chase. You can download it as an app or you can use it on the web. But it's where teachers can make scavenger hunts for their students, and students go around and either take pictures or videos or type in a text or insert a document or things like that to complete each mission. So you could even do this for science class, let's say, and you're sending them on a scavenger hunt, maybe to find different kinds of leaves or bugs or things like that. They take a picture of it and they can just upload it here instead of trying to collect everything. You could even do this for a party though, like at the end of the year, if they have access to technology and make it more fun. There's some different ideas down here. Snap a shot of a teammate standing under a light bulb as if coming up with a brilliant idea. Things like that, things that are funny and silly, but it can also be used for educational purposes as well. The next one, Class Dojo. This is very good for feedback, keeping parents informed. This is very fun for the students as well. They each have their own little avatar. They can make their own avatar and they get points for being well behaved, maybe doing something good in class. You can customize it to be your own thing. And you can also take points away for them if they aren't behaving and things like that. It's a great motivator to help them stay engaged and stay motivated during school. And the parents can even see how their child is doing at home. Very easy to add in your students' names. You can even use it as kind of a social media type thing. You can put up different presentations that you might be doing in class. Like I did one here, falling leaves, why do leaves change color? You can post pictures from maybe different field trips or something that happened at school that day. You can put your lesson plans up here, just something very helpful as well. The last one is called Khan Academy, and it provides lots of videos for students maybe struggling. You can assign students to watch videos, and then there's different homework assignments that follow each video. So here there was a video about numerators and denominators, taught it out perfectly clear, had drew on the little chalkboard that they have there, and then there was assignments for each video that could help the students maybe that are struggling, or maybe even for a substitute teacher as well. So that concludes my presentation. I hope it was a help for you. Thank you for listening, and thank you, Ms. Davis, for this class. I really enjoyed it. I found it very practical, and just thank you, and I hope you all have a great day.